It's the Happiness Anonymous Share Show. This one will be so spooky. There's no ukulele, but there's plenty of treats for you. It's the Happiness Anonymous Scare Show. This one will be so spooky. There's no ukulele, but there's plenty of shares just for you. There's baking songs and pictures, poems coming, all just for you. Sharing our thoughts and our fears. So grab a drink and tuck right in for the Happiness Anonymous Scare Show. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to the Happiness Anonymous Scare Show. Usually it's the share show, and that is actually what we are doing, is we are sharing some amazing contributions today, inspired by Halloween, inspired by the Hallow season, by autumn, and also by happiness. This is all part of the Happiness Anonymous program, and first thing that we do with everything Happiness Anonymous is we say how we are doing. We check in. A check-in, for people who don't know, is the honest answer to the question, how are you? So throw into the comment section, type away, give us the honest answer. How are you doing tonight? I am thoroughly enjoying being in a Halloween costume for the first time in the season. I really thoroughly enjoyed getting inspired by the jumpsuit and by Harley Quinn and by doing crazy makeup. And hi, House of Kaya. That is Kev. How are you? And yes, nice and cozy with a brandy. I wish I have a brandy glass here, but it's full of water because I'm going to be talking quite a bit tonight. Hi, Ilya. Thank you so much. I love the Harley Quinn as well. I finally feel like there's some distance between us and the Suicide Squad original films, so that I can be Harley Quinn without feeling insecure about it. But hello, Aaron. Hello, Tom. I'm so excited for today's show. And also, today's show is a very special one. We did a load of Happiness Anonymous share shows during the Edinburgh Free Fringe, and this one is all in support of the Halo Trust. So I'm so glad you're doing grand, Kevin, and I really am. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this all week. I've been looking forward to this all day, and I feel like finally I'm going to get a little bit of my therapy, which is doing this show. I also thoroughly enjoyed making the background. They're super easy. But we are doing all of this in support of the Halo Trust. I am throwing into the comment section right now a link to the Just Giving page. Now, this is officially for this channel. It is officially for this show. And every donation, I'll be checking periodically through the show, every donation that is made to this Just Giving page, which goes all directly, I don't take a cut, nobody takes a cut, it goes directly to the Halo Trust. For every donation, when you donate or here in the comments section, put down either trick or treat, because I have got here a jar of doom, and on my other side I have got a big plate of brownies, because every time you vote trick, I have to pick my hand into this jar and pick out one of these, and it has got forfeits on it. I've got some amazing things from good friends who may not be good friends after this. There are chilies to my side. I've got lots of supplies. But if you're feeling like you want to give me a little bit of a break, then please write down treat, and then I can get some brownie or water, or I've just realized there are chilies to my side and I haven't got anything like milk, so this is gonna be fun. Hello, Sam. I'm glad that life is busy, but also that it's good. Busy is also good, but do take care of yourself. Do give yourself moments to check in. And a good thing, a good way to do that, and also a good way for us to get really into the moment and into the vibe of the Halloween share show, as well as Halloween in general, is music. So I've just posted into the comments section, and you can also find it in the description of this video, a link to a Spotify playlist. This is Shannon, who is fast becoming the Happiness Anonymous's official DJ. She has put together an amazing, amazing Halloween playlist that I have been absolutely binging for the last week, and I will continue to binge. It features all of the best hits, all of the things that you need from across the genres to really get into that spooky, spooky vibe. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like to play any of those, streaming and things like that mean that I can't play copyrighted music without being taken off air. And frankly, we want to stay on air, don't we? Because then we can make some more money for the Halo Trust. But do click on that link, shove it either on your headset when you're going around for the rest of the days, or if you want to shove it on a little bit in the background, so that it's there, so that you can get into the vibe. Think of it as background music. But whilst you do, what we're going to do now is I actually, in choosing the Halo Trust, I didn't realize how quick to respond they would be. I created the Just Giving page. They were obviously given a notification, and the Halo Trust actually reached out to me to support this show, which feels very, very legitimate and very, very exciting. And they have sent through a few of their own shares, which are a few of their videos, which you can actually see on their YouTube page as well. And they've sent a couple of videos to give us a little bit more information about the work that they do. And this first share comes from Halo Trust, the reason we're all here, other than having fun and potentially watching me freak out and flail on the internet. And here is a video from the Halo Trust. It is an overview of their work, and is by their CEO, James Cohen. So thank you, James. Thank you for the team. And here we go. តែងតែរំនេះខ្ញុំតែងតែភ័យព្រួយរឿងមានដូចគ្នាជាជននៅក្នុងភូមិនឹងខ្ញុំក៏ដូចគ្នារួចទៅនេះខ្ញុំបានគិតថាបើនេះខ្ញុំបានចូលជាអង្គការឡូននេះខ្ញុំអាចបោះសម្អាតមានបាន
Halo was founded in 1988. Our purpose, our mission is to save lives and protect people who are threatened by the deadly debris of war. We have around 100 international staff working with 6,000 local men and women in programs around the world. We work in Colombia, Angola, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Ivory Coast, the Central African Republic, Somalia, Kosovo, Ukraine, Georgia, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Burma, Laos, Cambodia. We're also in 4 territories: West Bank, Abkhazia, Nagorno-Karabakh and Somaliland. Well, we couldn't do our work without the many people and organisations and countries that support us. So I'd like to thank our donors, whether they be national, whether they be supranational, or whether they be private. Between 1988 and the end of 2015, we destroyed 708 bombs, 26,539 missiles, 174,591 guns, over 210,000 cluster munitions, 1,577,284 mines, nearly 11.5 million pieces of ordnance, and 54,901,000 bullets. We've cleared 12,622 minefields and over 425 million square metres. Now that's the equivalent of 39,184 football pitches, or a 100-metre wide strip 106 times around the Earth. Well, statistics only tell part of the story. We've benefited tens of millions of people, and in 2015 alone, over 1 million. It's prevented countless injuries and fatalities, enabled those displaced by conflict to return to their homes, and farmers to grow crops or graze animals in safety. and it's laid the foundations for vital development and reconstruction in fragile, war-torn countries. But despite everything that Halo has achieved, there's still a lot to do. The world is changing and Halo needs to change with it. Mine clearance will remain central to our work, and we are as committed as ever to getting mines out of the ground for good. However, we are increasingly also tackling the other deadly aspects of war: small arms, explosives, ammunition, and the ubiquitous improvised explosive device, the IED. We need to play our part in dealing with this debris of war. New challenges face us in the Sahel, the Maghreb, in the Middle East, the Caucasus, Southeast Asia, and wherever war next emerges. Halo has the capacity and skills to play a key role in getting vulnerable communities back on their feet after conflict. With the right partnerships and sustained funding, we can make this happen.
There you go. That is just a little snippet of what the Halo Trust does. And I found they were actually a charity that was recommended to me and sort of nominated by somebody who shared with us here at the Happiness Anonymous Share Show during the Edinburgh Fringe. And I'm so glad that Alice shared this with us because I think they do incredibly good work all around the world. So let's see so far if there are any. Okay. Oh, okay. It's just one person. Thank you so much. Whoever you are, you have commented as anonymous and you've donated a really lovely, wonderful sum. Thank you so much. And you've put treat because I'm not nasty. Thank you. I'm totally having some brownie because yum, because that's fantastic. Thank you so much. First treat of the evening. Hopefully it's not the last. Good brownie. You'll see a little bit later why I have lots of brownie. But let us continue with the show. The Halo Trust is a fantastic trust, but one of the things that we want to do alongside Shannon's playlist is really get into the spirit of Halloween, and I couldn't stop myself but start with this next share that completely blew me out of the water. Really took me by the scruff of the neck and went, you are now in the vibe of Halloween. You totally feel it. So this is Fee's song, also featuring Becky, who is doing the artistry within it. I love it. Enjoy. Thank you, Fee. that just grab you? Doesn't that just get you really, really spookied in? I love it. I am so, so, so. Thank you so much, Fee. Thank you so much, Becky. Yes, I agree, Kev. It's totally awesome, isn't it? I'm so excited. And we're going to move swiftly on to keep in the spirit of Halloween to our next share, which I have to say, before I share this one, this share is from Thomas. And Thomas saw my show earlier this year during the Fringe. He saw some of the other shares, and Thomas is the source of a message that came to me afterwards, and after all of the shows were done. And Thomas ended up making me sob and cry because he totally validated my existence. And immediately turn around, and when I mentioned, I'm thinking of doing it again for Halloween, it's my favorite time of year, it makes me so happy. Tom was immediately like, well, I'm an artist and I've just thought of something amazing. Then I get a message the next day saying this was meant to take me 2 weeks and be a masterpiece, but I have it now here for you. So I'm going to share that with you. So if you bear with me whilst I press all of the buttons that are going to let me share this with you. This is a share from Thomas. They are sketches that he sent. There are 3 of them, and I'm very excited. So we have got here the very first thing that Tom sent through to me, which is, of course, the beautiful, the wonderful Pennywise. I was totally blown out of the water. Look at the skill here. Man, Tom, stop hiding. Stop hiding. Show your talent to the world. Take a risk. Be brave. I love it. Then I get this a few days later. Of course, the Joker. I am dressed as Harley Quinn. Of course, I'm loving the Joker. This is also a present that Tom was working on, so we have to be a little bit shushies. We have to be a little bit stim on this because this is a present that was given out. And yes, Aaron, an amazing picture of Pennywise, and I'm so continuously floored by the talent that I see on display, especially from people like Tom. And then we've got the third. We have got the trifecta of Halloween icons. Pennywise, we went to the Joker, and now we have Michael Myers. Wow. I love it. I absolutely adore how black you've made those eyes. I'm not somebody who adores getting into the vibe of Michael Myers. As much as I love true crime, as much as I love the darker side of life, this is somebody who scares the living daylights out of me. So thank you so much from going from Pennywise to the Joker all the way through to Michael Myers. Tom, what a wonderful share. I want these on my walls. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely blown away, taken by it. It's so. Oh, look at you. Look at you. And also, Tom, if you've got any link to a store, if you've got anything, I know you're watching, I can see you watching now, because the power of the internet, throw in a link to the description, or into the comment section even, because I'm getting so excited I'm mixing up all of my words. Throw a link in there, self-promote, do it, shamelessly do it. This is the chance. This is the chance. And also, fun fact, as much as I adore Halloween and adore the supernatural, I'm not a big fan of horror movies and those kind of classic horror movies. And it too, yes, too, was my first ever in cinema watching a horror show experience. So that picture of Pennywise, I fell in love. I have to say, I fell in love. So we are going to move on with this idea of love and the Halloween. And oh, Tom, you don't have a store, but we are word of mouth. This is the word of mouth. Of course, this is. Everybody stalk Tom, and no doubt the second he's got a store up, I'm going to be raving and shouting about it. But I love his work just as much as the next share is all about love. And it's all about love in the time of Halloween. It is a wonderful, wonderful story from Kev, who I can see is the House of Kia. If you can write a phonetic of that into the chat for me, Kev, that would be great, so I could stop pronouncing your handle wrong. But Kev is a writer, a storyteller, and a perfumer. He's a versatile man. And he's presenting 3 nights of Halloween shows, actually, starting on Friday the 29th of October to get really, really spooky over the weekend of Halloween. And he's presenting them on Zoom so you can stay nice and snug with all of the scary stuff without having to go out and party and do all of that. And tickets can also be found in Eventbrite. All of the links are in the description of this live stream. I will also, as I'm playing the video that Kev has sent through, which, by the way, I was sat watching and I was like, oh, okay, this is a fun story. And then I was like, what? This is amazing. So do tuck yourself in, get your cuppa, get your drink. I'm going to tuck in with some brownie because I'm going to cheat and have a little bit more brownie and enjoy this wonderful, wonderful share from Kev.
I'm Kev, and this is a small story I'm doing for Gem's spooky anonymous share show. It is called Date Night. Toby was anxious. First dates always made him anxious. This one, though, was set up via a very select dating website recommended by a vague friend he'd known for what felt like centuries. He trusted them. This was going to work. Although perhaps the anxiety was more to do with the cold, dark, overcast sky and the rain running down his neck while waiting outside in the park for the date. Perhaps this wasn't a great move to be here. He should have said meet at the restaurant, but no, she wanted to meet outside first. And, you know, he was happy to do that. The park was empty of people. It was getting late. The weather was picking up and the wind was blowing the bushes around, and they were dark, swaying as if a rampaging army of cats were having out with each other in there. It was a bit alarming and distracting. But finally he saw her, or rather he heard her feet first, her steps approaching. Then he saw her. Elizabeth, Beth, as he came to know via their conversations online. She was wrapped in a dark coat, her hand tucked into her pockets, collar turned up, and a beanie hat on top. But once you got close enough, he could make out her face. He gasped at such beauty, better than the photo on her profile. On such a night like this, he also wondered how her makeup was so perfect. She held out her slender arms and they embraced. It was heaven. Arm in arm, they locked and left the park to go to the restaurant over the road. On entering, the coats were taken by a waiter who seemed to be quite eager to get them seated. But he forgot himself completely and let out a whistle, which he instantly felt embarrassed about. She was stunning. Off-the-shoulder red dress, long hair, and a thin red little scarf around her neck, which made her look like a really classy 1940s. It was really, it was really good. He realized, though, he was looking at her for too long, and the waiter was tapping his foot, eager with impatience. He blurts out to try and cover his embarrassment, only to make things worse when he says, "You look so good enough to eat." His face really felt burning, and he could have just curled up into a little ball at that point. But she diffused with a lovely smile and touch of his arm. He relaxed enough and then went bright red again when she leaned in and said, "All in good time." He was thrown, but she led him away while he tried to recover himself, following the waiter to their table. Well, the hours flew by as if in a dream. They talked, ate, drank, and talked loads more all night until they were the last in the restaurant. The food and company was perfection. And he felt she seemed to have enjoyed herself too. It was such a great idea coming to this place. It's his favourite place. They get his rare steak exactly to his taste, as well as every other dish. It was perfect. Unfortunately, even perfect things have to come to an end. And back out into the cold, separate taxis for both of them. He wasn't going to push his luck on the first date. But they had promised to go on a second. And a couple of days of anxiety waiting for the call. Well, a couple of weeks of regular dates, including a couple of kisses, which were very nice. He felt really good. Is this too early to be calling it love? Perhaps. But to be honest, they were getting on so well. It was like they had known each other all their lives. Nothing he could think of was annoying about her, and he hoped it was mutual. Well, actually, there was one thing, that tiny little one thing that he noticed, and it was starting to not get to him, but it was just a little thing. Every time they were together, whatever she wore, and believe me, it was perfect, whatever she wore, she always had that small scarf around her neck. It was nothing really, and it always suited whatever she was wearing, and it suited her. Nothing really to pick holes in. So he thought, well, it'll change eventually. Well, this particular date he was now waiting for, his nerves were particularly raised once again. The relationship had been moving along, and after the previous night's snogging session at the back of the cinema like a teenager, which they were definitely not anymore, they seemed to have naturally become more comfortable with one another. And he felt that their mutual feeling of desire was driving them a little bit further than he was expecting at this stage. He hadn't felt so nervous in years, but she was very, very special. But tonight's date would be the acid test, because Beth had decided she wanted to cook at home for him. He wasn't sure if that was a signal, but he would just go with the flow, not be too eager, and see how the night goes out. Well, he stood on the doorstep, stomach churning with anxiety, as yet another dark night, but punctuated with brief glimpses of moonlight this time, and no rain, which he was very grateful for, as he knocked on the door. She answered, perfection again. He was a little bit taken aback because they were staying in right. She was dressed immaculately as if they were going out as usual. And again, a scarf, a small blue one this time, matched her blue slinky dress, and his blood boiled. He was telling himself to calm down, and actually talk would be a good move by now, though her smile made it clear she knew exactly what he was thinking. Dinner was nice and light, and he admired the token thought because they both knew what tonight was really about, he had hoped. Afterwards, they slumped down on the sofa with drinks. To his surprise, Beth suggested they watch a scary movie while their dinner goes down. Not his kind of thing, but he soon understood the real reason. They could snuggle up nice and tight and hold on to each other during the scary bits. Again, he admired her planning. That was a fantastic idea. Well, they certainly clung to one another, hands going places. His heart thumping in his chest, louder than it ever done before. His blood burning through his body. He really yearned for a lot more. Eventually, his lips touched her shoulder, moved along towards her neck. Lost in his moment, his lips followed her collarbone to the base of her neck, and then a mouthful of scarf. Killed the moment. But before Beth could object, he'd moved his hand and started tugging at the scarf, his blood burning through his body and skin electric. Suddenly his lips were no longer in contact with skin. Confused, he opened his eyes. Her head was not there. Then he hears her voice. "Down here," it says. Looking down into her lap, he sees her head staring back up at him. Slight shock there. "Would you kindly reattach my head, please? Until I can find some new bolts. I'm relying on that scarf to keep my head in place." His mouth moves, no sound for a little while. But finally he manages to utter, "Of course." And calmly, as he can, and carefully, he lifts her head and places it back on her shoulders. Beth fumbles with the scarf and then turns to look at him. "Are you okay?" she asks. He's sitting back in the sofa, watching her, his face flushed and sweaty. He's not feeling particularly great. Quite nauseous now. Bit shaky, in fact. "I'm okay," he lies. "I wasn't quite expecting that." Beth gives a very sweet smile. "I was going to tell you eventually," she says. Well, Toby, licking his very dry lips. "Well, if we have secrets, then perhaps I should share mine." She tips her head to the side slightly and raises her eyebrows. He begins to shake and shake. His body rips and his face begins to elongate and teeth enlarge. Beth claps her hands with glee. "Oh, great," she says. "A werewolf. What a great match the monster dating website did. I love a guy who's wild in bed. Come on." And she grabs his hand and drags him off to the bedroom. Thank you.
There are so many twists in that story, and Kevin, you completely you think it's going one way, and then it's like, you know what, we're just gonna keep making it Halloweeny. I love it. Thank you so much. One of my favorite things, one of the best things for me about Halloween is all of the stories that come out of it, and all of the absolute vibes. Yeah, Tom, I didn't see that last bit coming as well. When I first watched it, I was like, wait, what's happening? What's going on? It was very much the same kind of feeling I get when I watch a lot of true crime stuff. So well done, Kev. Thank you so much. That was an excellent little story break. It felt like we were around a campfire. Talking about campfires, we're going straight into the next share, which is a beautiful poem by Beth. Now I'm just going to line it up in the background as I try and talk and not even try to cover it. as I desperately try to find the file. There it is. Hopefully this will work. So Beth says of their poem, Autumn Lover, I love autumn. Not I am autumn, but it would be cool if you were autumn. I love autumn and wrote this poem about its glorious, fleeting nature. This poem comes from my first collection, so Beth's first collection, called What If Stars, and it was published by Allographic Press. Now, if you are really interested in poetry or just want to dip your toe into the poetry pool, I can definitely recommend anything from Allographic Press. I was quite surprised and happy to see this come through. I don't know Beth. I have vague connections to Allographic Press. I'm very, very excited that Allographic Press is being represented, and Beth. This is Beth's poem called Autumn Lover.
Autumn Lover. I felt you come in. You nipped my face as I turned the corner, touched my skin as I sat to wait. You bang and crash, blowing it all to pieces, speed drying my laundry and chasing it up the street. 3 sheets to the wind, the drunken reveller of these not quite winter dark nights, painting the trees scarlet and gold and nutkin brown. Blustering in, scattering the children in screaming, laughing wildness. A giant come to play, tousling hair and chapping fingers, rolling conkers in the gutter, making berries blush and flowers hide their pretty faces from your gaze. In all your splendour, though, I search for you. Your welcome blaze before the falling dark and blanket cold. Your loving touch of colour and softening gaze has me hooked on this sensuous season. A yearly fix of glorious extremes. You will leave me for another, this I know, but let me live a little in your warmth, before the cold claims me, and you steal away into the chill.
Thank you so much, Beth. I was actually thinking about that poem this morning as I was walking through the leaves to my office with the day job that doesn't require, the face makeup and stuff as much as I'd like it to. But this poem has really stayed with me, and thank you so much for sharing that wonderful sentiment. Yes, it's Faye. I can see why this is one of your favorites. And Madison, hi, Madison. And I'm so glad that everybody's enjoying this. That's such a beautiful poem. Now let's take a break to see if there are any more donations from the Halo Trust. So we're going to go over to another tab. We're going to hit F5. Oh my god. Okay, we've gone from 1 supporter to 5. Wow, this is incredible. We are £5 off of my target. I put a very low target. I'm very into putting low targets so that we can smash it out the park, and we are right there. So Dodgy Cam, hello my dad. This is scary. His comment is, keep up the good work, Gemstoned. Hey, you haven't even put a trick or treat. You haven't selected trick or treat. So everybody who is live with me in the comment section, you get to choose what my dad's donation is going to do to me. So first person to either comment trick or treat in the comment section, do that, and you are the one who actually chooses. Every time there's a comment that comes through, I'm like, we are 1 step closer to a mouthful of chili, and not the good kind, just the raw, full seeds and terrifying kind. Madison, thank you so much. I love you too. You have picked treats. Oh, everybody's really nice tonight. This is wonderful. Thank you. And Gemstoned, it's Bryony, of course. I've got a lot of talking to do, so I will take that treat and I will hold it and I will take it in a second. Then we have got from Anonymous, we have got Trick with a little devil evil face. Okay, so first trick of the evening. I don't know which is a good one to pick. We've picked one, and it says, oh goodness, improv a makeup tutorial. All right, give me a second. I've got makeup on already. Oh my goodness. Now, makeup tutorials. I love it. This one was themed. When this was sent to me, it was with a little bit of an explanation that Halloween is all about the makeup. So, hello, my name is Jem, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I do makeup and stuff. I have cleaned my face so you can see my true self. And what we're going to do today is we're going to use this palette with some brushes that I've managed to find on the side. And anybody in the comment section, feel free to tell me what I should be doing with this. But I think what we're going to do is we're just going to spooky this up. How about if we go for Harley Quinn, but the undead Harley Quinn? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush. They always do something like this, right? And there is some green over here. We're just going to go, okay, that's weird. My camera is really, really mirroring it. We're just going to go straight up, almost for the Buffy look. Is this enough? Is this satisfying? Sarah Allen, thank you so much for your donation. You've just said, have a wonderful night. So, first person into the comment section as I look at myself now. Wonderful. First person into the comment section to give me a trick or treat for Sarah Allen. Otherwise, I'm going to take Aaron's wonderful suggestion of another treat so that I can, and my treat is going to be to stop doing this to my face. But this is what we do. When I asked various different people what I should be doing as tricks or treats, thank you, Ilya. I'm glad this is entertaining. I was asked by one person who I was like, hey, do you want to put a suggestion for what I should be doing? They were like, okay, how much are you dedicated to this charity? Also, my two best friends, when I asked them, Sean and Joe, when I asked them, oh, guys, what should I be doing? They turned around and asked me how precious I was of my eyebrows. So I'm really concerned as to what else is in this jar. But this, yes, you see, I'm blending. Wait, where's my blend brush? They're always blending. They're blending. Blending is the key to having a green forehead, because this is what Harley Quinn looks like when she is trying to be a Green Ranger and a Green Power Ranger. Right, Aaron, you said treat, so thank you. My second treat is going to be stopping this madness. Thank you so much for the various different individuals who have contributed tricks and treats for me, and also now for anybody joining late in the stream. I look like I've had a little bit of a breakdown. Yes, I did the mash. Yes, I did, Madison. Then we've got also Sam Lowe. Thank you so much for posting and donating. And you've said trick. So we're going to go straight into it, straight off the bat. I'm not allowed to swear on air. I don't think I'm allowed to swear on air. And I'm now very glad that I've got water with me. Because thank you, Sam. I love you so much for giving me the cinnamon challenge. Of course, we love autumn. We love this time of year. Or at least I used to until I was told to do the cinnamon challenge live on air. I've never done the cinnamon challenge. So if you have, shove it in the comment section. Give me some advice. I hoped that this wasn't the thing. So for anybody who doesn't know, the cinnamon challenge is where you take a teaspoon and you take cinnamon powder, ground cinnamon, and you eat it. Yes, Madison, I'm bringing back dead trends for Halloween as well. It's all about celebrating the dead, right? That's the whole point of it. And yeah, okay. So hopefully I'll be able to see my screen through this. Yeah, I know. What year is it? It's cool. It's called We've All as a world lost the last 2 years. Okay, Tom, you're saying try not to breathe it in. Okay, we're just, you know how you rip a band-aid off, or like as a kid you'd rip a tooth out? Okay, I'm not messing about. I'm going for a full-on one because when I was asked how much am I committed to this charity, to the Halo Trust, and to getting your donations, there's also ghost peppers down below. So, all right, not breathing it in. 3, 2, 1. What? Like? Oh gosh. What do I do with it? My mouth is like, ah, ah, ah. Oh, it just turned into a paste in my mouth. Oh, why? Why did the internet make people do this? Why am I letting the internet continue to make me do this? Thank you. Bringing back dead internet trends. Yeah, Madison, you're right. Water makes it worse. Okay. And we're back. We are professionals. We do things on the internet for money, for other people. And my whole desk. If anybody's got any comments and tips, I wish I had milk. If anyone's got any comments and tips as to how to get cinnamon out of a keyboard, I did not think that through. Right. Now let's have a little bit of a video to explain why I've colored my face in green and done the cinnamon challenge live on air with people without ever thinking what happens to the cinnamon that's inside of you. I'm so glad I decided not to try and swallow that because I would have died. But here you go. The Halo Trust, everybody.
In 1992, what I remember, the first do demining in Cambodia. 1992, only 24 deminer, but we have only 5 detectors. Start to progress after the refugees repatriated from Thailand to Cambodia. Requests of more requests and needed for clearance. Hello Cambodia go bigger and bigger from that time until now. When I take the mine from the ground and destroy it, ammunition, destroy it, I feel, oh, we help the people's life. It's not just my money, it's not just my job, and also give the people's life. It's a lot of change. The accident is dropped down. A lot of development, road building, infrastructure, houses, farming, rice field, school, especially the mine areas along the Khmer-Thai border. Agriculture come behind. People very happily make something in the safe ground. It's not like before. It's safe.
It's still in my mouth. I've tried to drink it out, but I'm also very aware that this is as much water as I allowed myself. And I know for a fact that the cinnamon challenge was not the most horrible thing that's in that jar. Great. I also decided to try and make myself feel better and try and really, really capture Harley Quinn and blind Drew Hart onto my head, because we are now at that point in the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for everybody who suggested how to clean my keyboard. Yes, Tom, I definitely agree with you that spitting it out definitely the best idea, but all over me. When I say it's on my keyboard and on my desk and on me, I think I'm going to be finding ground cinnamon for months. But it's all about the love. It's all about making money, and we're going to stick with the love theme with a share from Jenny. This is, yes, Faye, cleaning goo for the win. I definitely need to get some cleaning glue and some more water, or something that is a little less horrible to be. It's everywhere. It really is everywhere. I can't. Right, we're going to go on to a share from Jenny. This is part of her project. Let's start. This is a share from Jenny, and it is called Here's to My Love. The lyrics are taken directly from Romeo's monologue from Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare, in Act 5, Scene 3, where he has just discovered Juliet's lifeless body. The song laments on how beautiful Juliet looks even in death. Of course, she isn't actually dead. And he will only be able to find happiness again if he joins her in death. Just a little bit of a hashtag. Don't ever be this dramatic. When Jenny wrote the song, the first word that came into her head to describe it was ghostly, and she's not sure it's appropriate for. She's sure that it is appropriate for the Halloween share show, and I know it is because it's beautiful. It's part of her Shakespeare and folk music project that was originally part of her MA, and she's continuing that project and creating this song cycle, writing original characters based on Shakespeare's character troupes, with lyrics from the text used in his plays. And Jenny has contributed to the show during the Fringe as well, and it was one of the most beautiful moments of music that I had and I've been exposed to. So I'm very, very excited to share again something that Jenny just says, you know what, you were blown away last time, but hell, we like to go for a home run. So this is Jenny with Romeo and Juliet and a song called Here's to My Love.
Death that sucks the honey from your breath has no power yet upon your beauty. You're not conquered, and beauty yet still crimson in your lips and in
Hello, everybody. Am I still there for you? Did that just pause and go dark for you too? My Hello, everybody. Am I still there for you? I'm desperately trying to see. I think my computer just decided to go, you've put cinnamon everywhere. So let's go back to the start of that. Let's go back and put Jenny back in there. And hopefully I am there. Yes, the sound went. There you go. I'm here. Cool. It's the joy and brilliant of live stuff. At least you know now. None of this is pre-recorded. So let's go back to Jenny. Here we go. Or not. Okay, hold on. I'm removing it from the studio. We're going to go completely on the fly with this. We're going to sit here and go, you know what? Now, all of that pre-planning that Jem did, it's live. We like to make things properly feel live. I just panicked because I thought, oh, am I still muted. But bear with me. Here you go. Once more with feeling.
Oh, my love, death that sucks the honey from your breath has no power yet upon your beauty. You're not conquered, and beauty yet still crimson in your lips and in your cheeks. And here's to my love.
Hello? Am I here? Give me a ping in the comment section if I am here for you as well. Oh my goodness. Technical errors. Technical errors. Right. I think I'm back. Anybody gonna confirm? Because I can see it on my little screen down there. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, everybody. Ping. Okay. All right. I'm going to try again with Jenny a little bit later. I don't know what's happening there. It is beautiful, and you can take my word for that. I'm so sorry. But there is, if you go over to @JenniferAddy on Instagram, I know that it's there as well. But we will try again a little bit later, and hopefully, whatever is happening, either with my computer, which is also trying to take off in the corner, and the internet will stop. But we are going to continue. My segue was that, wasn't that just magical? Like our next thing. But I'm going to say evil spirits are out there tonight. The Halloween spirit is out there tonight. And whomever jinxed this and went, you know what? Let's just make the magic that is the internet that we can comprehend, the magic that is technology, let's just make it not work, because we're just going to think about giving Gem another trick, which is apparently undecided by me, but the universe. But yes, that was stunning, and I will desperately try and make that work for you guys, because oh goodness, what you've seen ain't nothing yet. But we are going to move on. Yes, we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to move on to Sam's magic. Now, Sam is an amazing theatre practitioner and magician. I got really into his Zoom magic show that happened over lockdown. It was a lifeline to me. And Sam has created a little magic trick for us with a little bit of a story, because Halloween is nothing without a little bit of magic and a little bit of storytelling. So get yourself a little bit cozy for a few minutes, feel like you're around the campfire again. And this is adapted from a workshop that Sam has been working on recently.
We were given a creative writing task in English to write a ghost story. This is what I wrote. One cold and foggy night, a businessman was returning home after doing some overtime at work. His wife and children were asleep, so he decided to enter through the back door of the house, making less noise. He walked down the alleyway between his house and the next door neighbour's house. The fog had become thicker and was closing in around him. All of a sudden, the businessman heard a gust of wind. He turned around, didn't think anything of it, and kept walking. The sound of the gust of wind came back. This time it was louder. He looked behind him and continued walking agitatedly. The businessman heard the gust of wind a third time. It was deafening. As soon as he turned around, he saw a figure in the fog, and everything faded to white. The fog had consumed him. He disappeared. All that remained was the key to his house.
I love magic when you're sat there going, I'm really into this story. I'm really into what you're saying. But wait, you're not even touching that. What? Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Sam. I have one of my favorite memories from the Edinburgh Fringe is one day we decided to see about 14 shows in one day. I can't recommend it. It was fantastic. But I did come to on stage at 2 or 3 in the morning in the middle of a magic show where apparently they just messed up a card trick, but I was so out of it from tiredness, from overwhelmedness, that I thought it was the most amazing magic trick ever. So I'm glad that completely unoverwhelmed, I'm watching a magic trick from you, Sam, and just, oh, I love it. I love magic. Who doesn't? I know. How? I don't know how. Routinely, Sam pulls these tricks out of the bag that I'm like, yeah. Sam is the real Harry Potter. Just putting it out there. We're going to move on now to something that's equally lovely and spooky, which is a wonderful poem from Aaron. Aaron, you are there in the comments. Ping yourself, or give everybody a wave. And this is a wonderful, wonderful poem from Aaron, who is usually just a writing poem, but Aaron's been experimenting with actually performing his poems, and I love how he is presenting this. So this is a poem called Moonwalk.
As I sit on the beach, in the wake of the moon, it reflects in the water, the shimmering light sparks my curiosity. I walk across the soft sand, roll up my trousers, trepidation sets in my mind. With each step the surface doesn't break. As I ascend the path of light, I hear an angelic voice calling out. It isn't a language I know, but it is mesmerising. The sky changes colour, blues now become purple and reds. It's like a kaleidoscope, changing with each step. As the path comes to an end, I see a large, shimmering circle. That's in the shape of the moon. Shapes move beyond it. As I reach for it, I feel myself being pulled inside. I travel through a stream of light, so bright I close my eyes. I fall to the ground. I reach out with my hands. The ground is soft like grass. It smells fresh like spring. I open my eyes cautiously, surprised to see a garden of purple grass, trees that have beautiful leaves, all shades of red. Something catches my eye. A figure moves through the trees. The angelic voice changes. I freeze. Fear sets in. Then I feel something on my neck. I turn around slowly. A cloaked figure stands before me. As the hood falls, I gasp. Half her face is disfigured, skin burnt and scarred. The other half captivating, a beautiful pale white. Was she the face of the moon? That was my last thought before her head sunk into my neck. I felt the life drain from me.
Thank you so much for that, Aaron. And I loved the art style that you chose and the images that you chose. Thank you so much. Really illustrative. And also, Aaron has got a poetry book that he's just released only about a month or two ago. I've thrown a link into the chat. And it's also a link in the description of the video as well to go and order his poetry book. And Aaron has also self-published it, which is super exciting and something that I definitely have an aspiration to follow in his footsteps with. Not necessarily with poetry, but with stories, because I like a spooky stories. So we're going to move swiftly on so that we can try and make up the time from when the internet decided that it wanted to throw a little bit of a trick and a spanner at me to make it more fun. And we are going to move straight into some music because we have got quite a few little music bits, and this is something that I just absolutely loved. Gareth is an artist and a musician who turned around and said, I was just inspired by this Halloween share show and I created a jam. So this is Gareth's jam. I love that. Thank you so, so much, Gareth. That was a wonderful, wonderful jam that I think got a little bit cut off, but it started to waver at least for me. But it was so, I love what you were doing with all of the editing, and it was inspiring quite a lot of stories in my head, and I really liked that. So thank you so, so much, Gareth. Sticking with the idea of music and us reacting to music, he was one of the first donations, other than anonymous, the first named donation of the evening. Decidedly being troublesome and not giving us a trick or a treat. Even when I texted him off air saying, Dad, do you want a trick or a treat? Come on. My father is a YouTuber. If there ain't a scary story for tonight, that's the one. My dad is a YouTuber. And he records reaction videos to songs and lyrics. Now, if you want to see the full video, it is longer than I have time for, but that is because he gave his verbosity to me, and I am only a fraction of him. And so the link is in the description. But I want to still share something. So my dad is a writer. He goes into and reacts to the lyrics of different songs, and this is my father, my dad, reacting to one of his favorite bands, which is Rush. That is a Canadian band for anybody who doesn't know. And if you don't know, they're in the Hall of Fame. They're amazing. And this is a song called Witch Hunt that my father is going to react to.
Oh, here we are again by unpopular, uncanny, and perhaps even undead demand. Yeah, I can't keep that up. My daughter is doing a Halloween share show. And once again, I suggested that I might share something with her to share on her show on Halloween, which is why all of this nonsense. But also, obviously, a song that is fitting and appropriate for Halloween. Because of the nature of how YouTube's algorithm handles streaming versus shows, videos that you upload, there are some challenges with doing this, which means I'm gonna sort of front load quite a little bit of this introduction, and I'm gonna, by my own standards, try and speed run through the song. I'm gonna try and keep it compact and short and to the point, to give Gemma a fighting chance to make use of it in her show. Hopefully, we'll still get some of the value we try and get out of it. And certainly, Witch Hunt is one of my favorite lyrics and a great song from a great period. The perhaps the most profoundly sad, somewhat impressive on Neil Peart's part, but profoundly sad aspects of this song is that it was produced for moving pictures in 81, 82. And here we are 30 years later, and the song is as relevant and as on point and as on the money now as it ever was in some ways. And I think I was just having this conversation with the producer of the show that I'm writing in South Africa. In some ways, we always tend to think that the time we're living in is the most on fire, is the most discordant, is the most troubled, is, wars and rumors of wars. We always tend to think we're in the worst time that there has ever been. And we forget Cannae, we forget Genghis Khan, we forget bubonic plague, as opposed to stay indoors and wear a mask. And yet at the same time, it is stunning that as we've got this technology that allows me to sit here and pontificate in a Rush hoodie with sparkly lights on my wall, in this time when we have this much connectivity, we're still confronted by this same dynamic that existed during the time of the witch hunt and existed during the time of the McCarthy witch hunt and continues to exist now. only a short time after a Conservative MP with whom I probably agreed almost never was murdered in his office doing his job. And while I probably almost never agreed with that man, the idea that somebody would fear him, be so angered by his position in the world that he chose to murder him, that's astonishing and breathtaking. It's an example of the othering that we do. We always have, but it somehow feels like we've got more tools and more technology that allows us to other so much more effectively now than it feels like we were doing back when this song was written. I somehow feel like the tools and the technology and the connectivity that was designed to bring us all together has managed to make me feel in some ways like the world is more tribal and more disconnected and more at odds now than it was when this album was released. And that's a terrifying thought. Whose expression was it? I disagree absolutely with what you say, but I would die for your right to say it. I disagree absolutely with almost everything that people on the right of the political spectrum have to say. Disagree absolutely. Disagree absolutely with the sort of capitalism is king school of thought. Capitalism without a conscience. Disagree absolutely with the anti-vaxxer. Disagree absolutely with the anti-masker. Disagree absolutely with anybody that fails to show empathy in a world where empathy is the most important thing of all. But the idea that I would other them to the point that I would stick a blade in them or stick explosives on myself to go and destroy the infidel, it's horrific. And I guess it's been a theme of fiction and writing. It was a theme in the book written about 1984. It's been a theme in discussions and conversations through time. In a weird way, there's an interesting synergy. There's an interesting similarity of theme between this song, Witch Hunt, and a song that I did earlier on this channel, A Few Words for the Dead by Marillion, one of my favorite lyrics of all time. The "or you could love" line in that song is my email tagline. "Or you could love" is so deeply coded in at the very least the aspiration of my life mission. I don't necessarily always achieve it, but I aspire to it. And there's a similarity in theme between that, A Few Words for the Dead, written about Bosnia, and this song, Witch Hunt, written about the kind of human dynamic that gets us to Bosnia, that gets us to a 25-year-old man stabbing a 61-year-old politician to death because of political disagreement, because of fanaticism, because of this sort of radicalization of both sides, of all sides. The right is radicalized, the left is radicalized, the religious are radicalized, the atheists are radicalized. And somehow it feels like there's no radical middle, unless you count Tim Minchin. Tim Minchin's probably radical middle. Who else is radical? I think Peart was radical middle. Yeah, I think Neil Peart was very much radical middle. And when he wrote about society, when he wrote about people, when he started to do that, as we're about to see, lyrics written at, somewhere between 79 and 1981, lyrics written then, here, this man makes 80, I think. Moving Pictures comes out, because I think Signals comes out in 81. So yeah, lyrics written in 79, 80 are still relevant now in 2021, 22, and will continue to be relevant. They'll be continue to be relevant as long as we remain fearful and confident in our rightness to the point that anybody that isn't us is the enemy. So that's a very long introduction, which I suspect may be all that my daughter Gemma is able to use in her live stream. And if it is, and you've stuck around to listen to this, thank you for doing that. Click the link somewhere in Gemma's stream to watch the song, and I hope you do. I'm gonna pick up on some very key lyrics in that song. We might even discuss some fashion choices and some style choices. But yeah, that is probably it for Gemma's live stream, and that means that I can now jump into this incredible song by this incredible band, this band that has meant so much to me for so much of my in adult life.
That is as much as I can possibly share. Hello, Wiccan 200, lots of numbers. How are you today? Check in. Yes, everybody, check in again. Let me know how you're doing. Yeah, I love my dad's reaction videos. Don't tell him that. And in fact, one of the moments in my life that hi, Bryony. Hi. One of the moments in my life that my dad is singularly most proud of me for is back when I was about 18 years old. I interned in my dad's writer's room because if you've got the connects, use them. And my father disappeared and came back into the room to find me vehemently arguing with a large group of professional writers who all had the collective just working experience that was about 2 or 3 times my age. And I was arguing with them about how much of a sin it is to cock tease the audience, to give them a little bit of a thing and then not actually give them the cake at the end of the show. So I find it really rich that I've just turned around and said, hey, yes, here's a show from my dad, and I'm going to cut it off just before it gets really good. But that is my little share as a response to that wonderful share by my dad. I think he brought up a lot of really, really good issues and some issues that are really, really relevant to Halloween. It is a time for us to reflect on the dead and celebrate the dead and not just people, but things that have passed as well. And also reflect in how we do that. So thank you so, so much, Dad. I kind of am like, oh, you've submitted it as Paul, as Dodgy Cam. So thank you. Lyrics in a Bottle. I named the channel. And we are going to move on to another thing that is wonderful. I have to say, you guys, I'm going to be real for a second. You really, really, everybody who's contributed to this show, when I say that I'm excited, when I say that I'm blown away, when I say that I'm speechless, which I am not often easily or ever speechless. I'm a verbose person, as you can tell, because that was my heritage that you've just watched. I learned from the best. When I say these things, that I love these shares, I genuinely mean it. You guys are astonishing. So thank you so much. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on to another astonishing share. And this is from Jessica. Now, Jessica has sent through a song called The Crew of the HMS Terror. This is another song. This is another story. It's beautiful. And Jessica writes this. This is a song based on an oral history from the Inuit of Alaska, originating around the 1850s and passed down through the generations. It tells of a real encounter between a group of Inuit and the final remaining stragglers of Lord Franklin's failed polar expedition. The video is also created by Dan Heap. So thank you so much, Dan, and thank you, Jessica. And I am absolutely taken aback, not only by the track, but also by just this video. It's brilliant. Thank you, Dan. And thank you, Jessica, for bringing Dan's work and also bringing your work. So this is The Crew of the HMS Terror by Jessica.
Distant figures, 8 or 9 out on the ice, drawing clearer, ghostly thin and deathly white, not a glimmer. In their gaunt and haunted eyes, dead men walking, or spirits, what choice had we but to retreat and to hide and wait inside and hope they'll go, yet hear their footsteps in the snow come louder, louder, loud and close. Then a braver man than I stepped out to fight, wraith-like creatures, cold of skin and dead of mind, would we offer, would not eat and would not trade, would not speak a word. On their grim death march into the wastes so we made an igloo for them all to sleep, and left for them 3 seals to eat, and silently, silently fled when night came. Seasons came and went, we returned one day to such objects we had left, in our haste to flee the curse. Why had they arrived? Would their coming spell our doom? Captured in the ice, we found that the igloo we built had provided their tomb, and they had left the seals alone, but they had feasted on their own, with human teeth marks on human bone. What line divides survival and sin? What point does life depart and death creep in? What line between a man and a beast? Starving in the land on which we feast. Starving in the land on which we feast.
I am already seeing in the comments section how much you guys are enjoying that. I don't think I need to sit here and praise Jessica. I think we all get the point. Wow. What an amazing, what it's also for me, the one thing that I love about that is that A, it's history. I love history. But B, it's coming in a style that you just don't see or hear a lot of. So thank you so, so much, Jessica. That was amazing. And I have popped into the chat where you can find Jessica's music. Go look for more. And I've started doing that as well. I have saved a lot of things on the wonderful Spotify. And it's filling my days with some wonderful, wonderful joy. So thank you so much. Now, we've come to another part in the show where I am going over to this tab and refreshing the fundraising page, and there are more people saying tricks. So thank you so much, Faye, and also for the treat. Thank you. I'm actually just going to I've got a little bit of juice here. I'm going to take that because I can actually still taste cinnamon. There is actually a donation here. Thank you, Anonymous. There is a donation here from Anonymous, and there is not even a tag of a trick or treat. So we're going to go to our default system. First person in that chat to tell me trick or treat. Let me know if you want me to dip my hand into this. Or not. First person to sit there and tell me trick or treat. Just a little bit of a tip, a little bit of a hint. The next one is actually a treat. So if we want, we can go with it. Why am I encouraging this? Why am I encouraged? Oh, Beth, you've picked treat. You guys are so kind. I genuinely was sitting there going, "Oh, I've got to write more tricks. I've got to write more tricks, and then I'll just have one treat because nobody's gonna choose treat." But clearly, one of these days, I've actually all of the cinnamon that was poured onto my notes in front of me has gone on top of the brownies, so it's a little bit of a tricky treat. But thank you so much. And I will be taking that as also a treat from Madison. Thank you so much, Madison, and thank you for supporting the work. And you're just so kind, saying a treat. Thank you so much. I'm genuinely nervous because I'm looking down at things like chilies and tequila and ginger paste, Marmite baby food, and those are just the things that I was told I needed to get. So, yeah, Beth, thank you so much. Things are weird these days. We do need treats. I 100% agree. That is actually, you've nailed it. That is exactly why I set up this show. It's exactly why I decided, you know what, I've got a solo show and I can go on and rant for days and make art and whatnot. But you know what we need? We all just need a little bit of a cabaret of joy. So this is my cabaret of joy. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for the treat. So here is just another little bit of a reason of why we are donating tonight. So if you want to have a chance to get me to consume any of the things that are next to me or do any of the things that are in that jar, hopefully nothing that attacks my eyebrows, then please donate. The link is in the description. And also here is another video from Halo and the Halo Trust. It is just a very short one, but I really wanted to include it because Tamsin, who is the representative I was talking to, this is a little treat from her, and it is her favorite video that is out there. So this is a little bit of work that the Halo Trust is doing, and it's Tamsin's favorite part of the program. Short, simple, perfect editing. I love that video. And I'm so glad that it was flagged by Tamsin. It's the Halo Trust does some amazing stuff. They also put out a lot of information about how we can help. So head over to their socials. But in the meantime, head over to the Just Giving page. Throw me a trick or a treat, hopefully more treats because the brownie is good. But until then, we're going to stick with this idea of food. And we are going to move on to the quintessential thing that we do at Halloween. Yes, some of us may dress up. Some of us may throw parties. Some of us may start telling some spooky stories. But the one thing that we all love doing, and something that we absolutely adore doing with kids, is pumpkin carving. I am so excited for these ones, mainly because I'm sitting here and I've been sat wondering for the last few days as I walk through all of the aisles full of pumpkins, what should I carve my pumpkin as? And Bryony, you wonderful, versatile artist, you have sent through the pumpkins from the last and your carvings from the last few years. And I really, really wanted to share some of these because, wow, if it's inspiration, I'm going to say let's all be encouraging and say let's take this as inspiration rather than as a way to make you feel really bad at your like carving skills. But it's all right if you're bad at pumpkin carving. Who else does it more than like once a year? So there you go. Hit the share button, Gemma. That tends to help. This is a pumpkin from Bryony. It's a little bit small on the screen, so I'll try and zoom in. Let's have a go at this live on air. Boom. Love it. I love this. Bryony, tell us in the comment section. I can see you right there. How do you get the like multiple tones? And also, any tips on getting that kind of intricate work that you've got on the side? I would love to be able to do that kind of intricate work on a pumpkin. It's probably down to patience, but like most things. So I am going to try. Come on, you can do it. Maybe it wants me to zoom back out. There you go. That's the next one. Yes, I know, Madison. It's amazing, isn't it? This is the spooky house. I love this. I love the bats. I'm definitely going to try and carve a bat, I think, this year. So, Bryony, you say shaving layers of pumpkin off and lessen the flesh so that the lighter color comes through. It's brilliant. Yes, Bryony definitely needs to join our Gish team. Gish is a wonderful scavenger hunt that Madison and I do together. That usually is just a load of creative stuff. Cat. I'm just gonna say that. Cat. Mm. Then we've got here this intricate bridge. Honestly, you've got so much patience, Bryony. Wow. Amazing. Here we go. It's a lovely little thing. Faye, you say that you've bought a scalpel for this year's cart. Wow. Okay, you're going full out. I've stuck with the like you can get those packs that are designed for children where it's got like a little bit of a blunt blade. And a wolf. Look at that. A wolf howling at the moon. I can't even draw that with a pencil, and I've been holding a pencil for multiple years. I know, right? Absolutely inspiring and fantastic and brilliant. And then there's the tree of life with a little owl grabbing a little bit of a spooky spirit. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bryony. Absolute inspiration. I love it. I love it as well because pulling the guts out of pumpkins, there's something oddly satisfying about that. But also, I as a child really loved I loved vegetables. But I also loved this idea of pumpkin carving. And one of the things I always wanted to do as a child is pumpkin carve. But sticking with the idea of children, our next share is from Liv. Now, Liv is out in Norway and is fantastic and has been sharing a lot on her social media about the things and traditions that she does with her nieces and the children that are in her life. It's not a share, but I've just seen an image posted by her of a tradition she has with her niece where the niece draws on the pumpkin and she carves it. So it's entirely down to kids. So if you've got kids, that might be a really nice bonding activity. But until then, the share that Liv has sent through is a wonderful pumpkin curry recipe. So I know what I'm going to be eating for the rest of the week, probably the rest of the month, because that's not that far away. And it has been done in a style that is very much inspired by this idea of children. So it's a little bit of a game as well. So we've got Halloween. I love it. I feel like Liv really tapped into the vibe and style of the artwork around Happiness Anonymous as well. And we open up here and it's all done in a way where you've got your pots, you've got your ingredients down the side. It's designed to be accessible. It's designed to be cute. And you could sit and wait and work it out. And then as you've made your pumpkin curry, here's a little bit of a zoom in for that. So take your screenshots right now. Take your screenshots right now. You've got your butter, you've got your seasoning, you've got your curry powder, your pumpkins, your milk, or your vegan milk, and then there's your meal. There's something very. I know Leave is incredibly capable of some amazing artistic work, and I was so refreshed to see her totally embrace this idea of childish spirit that is Halloween, and this idea of play. And anybody who knows me knows how much I love to just go, let's play, let's do something crazy. So thank you so much, Leave. Thank you so much. Now, in a complete 180, we are going to go on to the next share, which is Madison's composition. Madison, who I've just spoken about, who is my Gish partner in crime, who's also in the comments. Madison has created this composition. She is an amazing, amazing musician, playing the. I know it's not a xylophone. Madison, please correct me with what instrument that you play. I'm so bad at music and stuff. But Madison's also just messaged me, and I'm going to read that message as well, because this is a composition called "Where Wildflowers Grow," and it was written during the pandemic for people and dedicated to people who passed due to COVID. And I thought it was very, very apt because it's all about celebrating the dead, and that is what Halloween is ultimately and originally all about. And also that she's mentioned that the elements within the piece show the duality of life versus spirit. You're going to hear some bowed vibes that are meant to represent the ethereal sound, while the marimbas are grounding and warm and earthy. Again, Madison likes to smash it out the park, and this is a wonderful, haunting, beautiful piece. And I hope that you all enjoy it. Wasn't that just an amazing change of pace? Wasn't that just something that was beautiful? I, as most people will probably comprehend from the intro to all of these shows, have no musical talent. So thank you for bringing that magic, Madison. Again, also with an instrument that, and a set of instruments that isn't necessarily common, isn't something that we often hear. So thank you so much for entrancing us. Yes, Bryony, that is the perfect word. Thank you so much for entrancing us. You wonderful, wonderful magical spirit. Now, as much as Madison has worked beautifully with all of those musicians to set this very calm, very vibed out, very lovely atmosphere, like the bull in the china shop that I am, I'm about to destroy that. So, my best friend and I love baking, and we have for years turned around and said, "Ooh, I'm a better baker," and we've always talked about how we should go on Bake Off. This has been the British Bake Off. I think pretty much everybody knows what that is. If you don't, go look it up. It's fantastic. It will make you hungry. So I recommend watching it whilst you're eating. But the Great British Bake Off is a baking competition that is just really wholesome and really fun. So Zoe and I decided for Halloween, both of our favorite times of year, we would get together and do a bake-off, and we thought that was going to be a great idea. I am sat next to a load of brownie because that was part of it. But we also, I decided that 9 hours of baking is too much, and yeah, I wouldn't survive on that show, but we have filmed it, we have created it, and this is going to be an extract of it because there are too many moments of gold. So our second challenge as part of the Bake Off, because there are 3 challenges, our second challenge was a gourd-based bake. Whatever the hell that meant, a gourd-based bake. Now, I have always, with my love of Halloween, wanted to make a pumpkin pie. Now, if you like watching people break down, if you like watching people visibly regret their life choices, then tuck on in and get yourself ready, because this is an extract from Zoe's and my Bake Off, which has given me a little bit of PTSD against baking. And I have to bake some more on the weekend for other reasons. And I think it might just be one step closer to hell. I suppose hell is also part of the theme of Halloween. So, either way, as my eyes sit here going, I don't want to see it again. There you go. I've just found the file. Sit back, relax, enjoy me having a meltdown, and Zoe being an absolute legend and proving the fact that she should be on Bake Off, and I should only be on Bake Off for that first episode when Noel Fielding and I will definitely destroy everything. I'll become a meme, and yeah, enjoy. This is a Bake Off with the second challenge, the gourd-based bake. So now we are going on to round 2. The gourd-based bake. This can be anything, it can be savoury, it can be sweet, but it has to have as a primary ingredient a gourd. For anyone who doesn't know what a gourd is, that is a pumpkin or a squash or other kind of squash. We are going to be baking a gourd-based bake. So Zoe, what are you going to be baking for us today?
I am making mini pumpkin-looking squash and feta pies.
Oh my god, okay. I'm just making a pumpkin pie because I've never done it before and I've always wanted to make a pumpkin pie. Yes, so I'm making a pumpkin pie that is going to have a little bit of a ghostly, ghouly influence, and hopefully it will go well. But first, what we've got to do Yes, this is a pumpkin. I could not find any orange ones that weren't the size of my own hand. But look how cute these are! So, ghost pumpkins. Apparently they taste like candy floss.
Okay, so it's candy floss pumpkin pie.
We're just gonna go with whatever the hell. I like the way I was just like, I'm not doing something I know what to do. And Ryan was just like, it'll be fine, just follow the recipe. And the first thing I do is not enable myself to follow the recipe.
I've never made this either, so this could be really fun. I don't do a lot of savoury baking. I do sweet baking and I do cakes, and that's about what I do.
I bake brownies.
Oh yeah,
and
brownies.
That's it.
I do brownies, biscuits, cakes. That's like maybe occasionally pastry. So maybe the pastry bit I know.
Oh, I've got to make pastry.
I thought you were buying pastry.
Oh, I thought you said that I wasn't allowed
No,
to.
you
and
could
then
have done. I was just going to make my own.
So 1 hour and 30 minutes to speed bake gourds and make something of it.
And if you're feeling fun, try along at home with us, and you can also enjoy the chaos and stress that we're about to do.
Over here are the recipes. Done chopping, finally. So you know how I've made like this whole arm hurt? Now I have to make pastry.
Oh no, I have too much butter. Too much.
Your rolling pin is extra. I'm sorry. Show everybody at home your rolling pin. Right
Anyone
now.
who is a baker will appreciate this rolling pin. So
I mean,
it's,
I appreciate it, but it's extra.
it's not extra, it's genius. So not only does it have measurements, not that you can see that go out either side, so from the middle, so you know how big you've gone. You have little rubber things, so then when you roll, you have a nice even width across all of your pastry.
It's genius, but it's yet another thing that when I walked in, you were like, "Look at this!" I was like, "Oh, I'm way out of my league."
And yet you're still in it.
Oh my goodness, you're carving full on carving pastry. I'm very concerned because this is very liquidy compared to what the pictures look like.
Have faith, Jen, have faith.
No, I honest to gosh don't think this is going to solidify. Because like, look how thick it was meant to be before I added the cream.
Oh yeah.
And now it's lumpy!
It just says contestants
It's just,
can't
it's
work
literally,
together.
it's like, oh. We're breaking the pumpkin recipe. You know how you said, you'll be fine, just follow the recipe.
I felt like that went out the window like 5 minutes into this, Jen.
Is there, are we allowing like a phone a friend?
Who you phoning, Jen?
My friend Madison in Oklahoma. Are you finding the guys like really calm energy really aggravating?
I don't know.
I mean, I can tell you guys are a little worked up just by the veracity at which Jem is trying to mix that.
It's the veracity of which I'm trying to save it. I'm just gonna put more flavour in it. And if it's too spicy for you, then that's your role.
Before you mix it, look how much extra cinnamon has just been added.
No, there's also like allspice.
Jem, stop adding spices, add sugar. It's gonna be unedible!
Sugar and spice and everything nice, right?
The only missing is chemical X, and thus the Powerpuff Pumpkin to the board.
Oh, I don't know. I think you might shock yourself actually when you cook that. Pop some of the liquid. B won't be granular.
That's always good when you can pull that face through.
Oh god, the cinnamon's hitting me in the... Ah! Why can't I bake anymore? I hate food-based baking. That doesn't look like nearly enough.
It doesn't, but little by little. Otherwise, we're going to send it too sweet.
You're underestimating how much there is of this shit.
Would you like me to do the whisking and you do this bit?
I'd like this just all to end, frankly. TikTok makes baking seem fun and simple these days.
That tastes better.
Better, but does it taste good?
It tastes like candy floss, like exactly like you said.
Oh, booze! That's gonna fix it!
Oh, God.
You should be looking forward to it because in one slice, it's gonna be like a whole night out.
You guys just left an icing bowl in it.
Yes.
Yes.
How dare you?
Why is it just crumbling? Oh no! Why didn't I just buy a... No!
You feel that price. You feel it. The overwhelming sense of time pressure.
Question. Do you have to roll it? Can you not just press it into a tin?
Is that a thing?
Just don't over...
You know what I think the problem is? I think I haven't made enough dough! Hold on. Do your mini one. I stole my brother's pan a month ago! When will it end? I want it to end!
Do you want to start prepping for the next one?
I don't want a next one! Ah! Ooh, those look good. They look so good.
So the tops are popped on all of them, though. Okay.
Bah, humbug.
Right, so this is your original sloppy...
The goop.
The goop!
This is the goop.
That's got a shit ton of cinnamon in it. So I'm kind of scared to try it. That is rank.
I know, Ryan's going for another bite.
I think that's just because he loves me.
I guess for sure
We have not tried this yet.
Where's the slice? Oh gosh. Oh, the texture is horrendous. It's like a 5-week-old milk dart.
Yeah.
Really bad.
I don't taste any pumpkin or candy floss.
No.
It's because Jem drowned it out with booze.
Cinnamon alcohol and...
What
That's
is
good,
this?
really good.
What is it? Banging. This is really nice. This is really nice. It's weird though, like, yours is sweet, yours is savoury. I don't know how to judge this now.
I'll do the judging then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, I know which one. I think the silent eating says it all.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we can tell, I think this Halloween has meant that the death in my life is cinnamon. Yes. Apparently pumpkin pie is meant to like have that texture. Apparently. No. If you want to try something new, just follow the recipe and ultimately add booze if it doesn't go right. I promise you that when I make brownie, however, I am very, very good at that. So I'm just going to stick to what I know. So that was the Bake Off. I hope you guys found that as amusing as I did now. At the time, I thought I was in a hell loop. But we are going to go into our final final share of the evening. I thought, as much as it's tempting to leave with the bake-off, leave with my face and the look that my face gave when I tried that pie, I I thought one of the things that I'm very proud of is the artistic skill that comes out of everybody who contributes to the show. So I wanted to end on that. So here's our final share, and it is from Aaron again. Yes, Tom, pancakes are such an easy make. I love them, especially bacon pancakes. But we're going to go on to Aaron's poem, which is called Thin Veil, and I absolutely adore the way he's presented this one for us tonight.
As summer falls and cold nights creep in, flames, smoke and ashes help protect the darker half of the year. Torches tightly gripped as they move sunwise around fields. In places bonfires burn, forbidding souls fall into earth. As All Saints' Eve nears, the lineman to the other side becomes malleable. Recognisable places become unhomely. Ghouls float through our world, searching for solace or scurrying for souls. Pumpkin lanterns hold the embers of Jack, warding off unwanted entities before they move to the next world. As All Hallows Day festivals flourish, we see townsfolk trick-or-treating. Toffee apples, candies and soul cakes are eaten. Crowds roam full of costumes, some traditional, some from fiction. But through all the smiles, fear grows in the shadows, perched, waiting.
There you go. I love that. Something so simple. There's something so simple about just darting under a blanket and saying, I'm going to be a little bit spooky tonight. We should all embrace the spooky of us and of our lives. Thank you so, so much, Aaron, that I love your poetry. And go, there is a link in the description of the video to go, and also somewhere in the comments, which have been fantastic. Thank you guys. They are in the comments so that you can go and buy Aaron's book that he's just self-published. Final thought, just to wrap the evening up, is if you enjoy this concept of the Happiness Anonymous show, because I have a podcast that comes out every Monday with some thoughts about happiness and some thoughts about existing and trying to be well adjusted in this idea of checking in. And Aaron, of course, I would share your poems. It's an absolute pleasure and an absolute joy. I'm so glad you're pushing yourself. Thank you. Well done. But if you like this idea of the Happiness Anonymous Club, apparently it's a club now, and want something where you feel like you want a little bit of a support group, a little bit of somewhere to sit and unleash your unfettered thoughts about happiness and existence, then during the August shows I did a wonderful interview with the creator of the Freedom Club. Now the Freedom Club, I've just put a link into the chat. The Freedom Club is a group that I am desperately saying let's all go join. I am part of it. It is in social practice and in support and in being parts of groups the thing that I really aspire for these shows to try and inspire. So go and join that. It's a nice little thing. There's some informative conversation going on, as well as some beautiful little bits and moments that are happening there. And it's a burgeoning. Me, I'm not a words person anymore, but it is forming. It is only newly forming. So let's go give that some love. Also on the donations round, tonight, just by everybody here who's watched live, we have raised a whopping £219 for the Halo Trust. Burgeoning. Thank you. Thank you, Bryony. This is why I have you guys. This is why I love you guys. You guys support me and make me look good. Thank you so much. Burgeoning. It's a burgeoning group. We have raised £219 just in the last 2 hours. Thank you so much. You are fantastic. You are brilliant. You have doubled and more my personal goal for what we've done. All of this money will be going to the Halo Trust. If you are watching this, because this is going to be available for prosperity to watch after the fact. If you're watching this after the fact and you still want to donate, the link is in the bio. The link is in the description of this video, and I'm also just about to throw it into the chat as well. So go and donate, and if you put a trick or a treat next to your donation, then on the 31st of October, on Halloween, I will be releasing a video. I will be closing down these wonderful donations. Thank you. So that the money could actually be shipped off to the Halo Trust. But I'll also, for anybody who donates further, I will be putting tricks or treats and responses to that in a little video released on the 31st of October. So do encourage people to donate and to help the things that the Halo Trust are doing. So thank you very much. Also, between now and the 31st of October, Halloween, the rest of the Bake Off is going to be released. So keep your eyes here for that. And I've also got a couple of other spooky treats. So donate what you can. Thank you so much for everybody. And thank you so much, everybody here who's live with me, who has made this such a wonderful experience that makes me want to just hug all of you, COVID or no COVID, and sort of cry. The people here, you guys, you're going to make me go to sleep with a smile on my face once I get the lipstick off my forehead. So thank you so much. You've also been massively kind. So well done all. Well done to everybody who contributed. You are absolute stars. As how we end all things on the internet, like, comment, subscribe. All of the Happiness Anonymous stuff is going to be out through this channel, the OFIT Productions channel. It's my company. It is my production company that I've had for a while with two of my really good friends, and I really love them. And it like, comment, subscribe. And I hope that you have enjoyed tonight. Thank you guys. You have been an absolute pleasure. And thank you for entertaining me and letting me entertain you back. And have a wonderful evening. A wonderful Halloween time. Be safe, make good choices. And I will see you in the next share show and next Monday for the Happiness Anonymous podcast. And just in between, let's chat. Let's chat over in the Freedom Club group. So, yeah, see you later. Have a great evening. And thank you so much, each and every one of them, you and them being the people who are here who have contributed. Thank you so much. You're stars. You are the reason why I am happy to have a chili on the sideline and also draw things on my face. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Bye.